These are 3 different animations you can do to level up your next project. If you are looking to expand your video editing and incorporate some motion graphics, this video is for you. Stick around to the end cause the last one is mind-blowing. I am Edney, this is Edney Studios. Let's get started. So first, we are going to start with a more simple one. With After Effects open, let's create a new composition. I mostly use the 1080p composition and give it a name, but that's optional. So we are going to first set up the background using a solid layer. To get an interesting look, go to Effects and type Gradient Ramp. Drag it onto the solid. In Effects Control, drag these points to these positions and set your preferred colors. For this, I want to go with a dark blue fading into black. Change the linear ramp to radial ramp to give it this look. With the background set, we are now coming to add our elements and animate them. Create a new shape layer, disable the fill and select the pen tool and draw a line. Change the stroke color to blue and the size to 15. After, duplicate the layer using Ctrl+D. Unview the top layer and change this layer's color to gray. Add a deep glow effect to the top layer. You can enable the tint and set its color to match the layer. Change the radius to 700 and the exposure to 0.25. With the elements set up, we are coming to animate them. To get the deep glow effect, check the link in my bio. What are you still doing here? Let's get back into After Effects. Expand the layer and add a trim path to it. Expand the trim path, go to where you want the animation to end and create a keyframe. Go to the beginning and decrease the end value to 0. Select the 2 keyframes and use F9 to easy ease. I want the animation to be quicker and shorter, so I just drag the end keyframe to the 2-second mark and you get this animation. To move the layers together more easily, you can parent link one of the layers to another, and if you move one, they both move together. You can add values, maybe 0 to 10 or anything that fits your narrative. Add some glow to them with radius 700 and exposure 0.1. Lastly, for this animation, we want to create a starting and end point to spice up the look even more. Create a circle, enable the fill and turn off the stroke or decrease the value to 0. Add a gradient ramp effect to the circle. Zoom into the workspace because the circle is quite small and adjust the gradient ramp points. Using a light and a dark color with the radial ramp gives it this nice look. Add a deep glow to it with radius 700 and exposure 0.5 and add a blue color tint. Move the circles to where you have the figures. And one thing we should know, moving a layer with gradient ramp distorts the gradient ramp points, and this is where I'll introduce pre-composing. Before you attempt moving the layer, pre-compose it and it will preserve everything. You can adjust the size to what fits best. Duplicate the layer using Ctrl+D and move it to the other point of the line. I did some minor adjustments to get them to exactly where I want them to be. Click on the first layer, hold Shift and click on the last layer to select them. Press T on the keyboard to bring up the opacity. We are come to create the starting animation. Zoom into the timeline using the plus key on the keyboard. Go to the 20 frames mark and create a keyframe. Go to the beginning and send the opacity to 0. You can easy ease the whole keyframe and this is the final animation. It was easy, right? Why don't you leisurely tap the like button and subscribe? Take a sip of water and let's dive into the second animation. With your new composition created, create a new solid. Add a gradient ramp, change the linear to radial ramp, and set the first point to the middle and the second point to the edge of the canvas. For this one, we are going for a dark ash color fading into black. Create a new shape layer and draw a rectangle. Duplicate the layer using Ctrl+D. Switch off the top layer so we can deal with the second layer. Disable the stroke and enable its fill. For this, I'm going to use gray. Change the blend mode to add and add a light sweep effect to the layer. Set the width to 120 and the sweep intensity to 10. Enable the top layer with the stroke and set its opacity to 50%. We want it to be a little bit transparent. Also add a deep glow effect to it. We are going to bring in our elements to fill in this rectangle. So first, we bring in the TikTok logo. Adjust the scale to the size that fits best. Add a tint effect to it and change the black to white. Bring in your other elements and also do the same. Select the 3 layers and double click on the deep glow in the effects section to add the effect to the 3 layers at once. Now to animate, this is what we are going to do. Make sure you stick around to the end. Let's get back into After Effects. Bring up the scale values of the 2 shape layers using the S key. Zoom into the timeline where you can see the 1 second mark and create a keyframe for both layers. Click this icon to unlink and adjust the horizontal values. Use F9 to easy ease the keyframes. Select the 3 icons and bring up the opacity using T on the keyboard. Move 2 to 3 frames forward before the shape layer's keyframe ends and create a keyframe. Move forward about 10 to 15 frames and create another keyframe. Move back to the first keyframe and send the opacity to 0. This will make the icons animate in nicely. And you know what else is nice? Tapping the like and subscribe button. Use F9 to easy ease the keyframes and you can send them forward or backwards depending on how fast or slow you want the animation to be. And this is the result of the animation. With the second animation done, you can get up and stretch a little, and let's get back into the third and final animation. With the composition created, create a new solid layer again. Add a 4 color gradient to the solid and change all the colors to black. Change these two to a bit brighter ash and a darker ash. Create a new shape layer and draw a rounded rectangle. Set the roundness to 40 and copy the 4 color gradient and paste it onto the rectangle layer using Ctrl+V. Make all the colors a tad bit brighter than the previous to make it stand out from the background. Add a light sweep effect to the layer and change the width to 190 and the sweep intensity to 0. Create a new shape layer and this time use the pen tool to draw a line. Set its color to white. Draw another line on a new shape layer. We are going to draw the final shape and change its color to yellowish orange. You can adjust the line to fit the specific shape you want. Now to the best part, animating the whole thing. Add a trim path to this shape layer. Go to the 1 second mark and create a keyframe for the end. Go to the beginning and set the end value to 0. Also add a trim path to this shape layer. Go to the 1 second mark and this time set the start value to 100 and create a keyframe. Then go to the beginning and lower the start value to 0. easy ease them using F9. But sorry, rather set the start value to 100 at the beginning and at the 1 second mark set it to 0. With that, we get these lines animating in nicely. For the yellow line, add a trim path to it. At the 1 second mark, set the end value to 0 and set a keyframe. Go to the 2 second mark and create another keyframe setting the end value to 100. Select the two keyframes and easy ease them. Add a deep glow effect and set the radius to 500 and the exposure to 0.8. Copy the deep glow effect and paste it on the other two lines and set their exposure to 0.4. Add another light sweep effect to this original shape layer and set the width to 120 and sweep intensity to 15. Set this place as the center and create a keyframe. Use the U key on the keyboard to bring up the keyframes. Go some frames forward and set another keyframe by changing the center's position. I did some final adjustments to how I wanted the sweep to happen. According to what you are doing the animation for, you can write it at the top here. So for me, I'm writing video editing. Add a deep glow effect to it and set the radius to 700 and the exposure to 0.15. Expand the text layer and add an opacity and set the opacity value to 0. Set the end value to 100 and let's do some animation. Create a start keyframe at where you want it to begin and move forward a few frames and set the start value to 100. Easy ease these keyframes. And after all that, this is the animation. These were quite simple, right? So with these three animations, you can elevate your video editing and motion graphics work by adapting them to suit your occasion. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Comment what you want to learn next. And if you need any further explanation on something, drop it in the comment section. I am Edney and I'm out.